All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Play by Play with Dr. Delay. I, of course, am Dr. Delay, and we've got a great one for you today as the Pittsburgh Pirates take on the St. Louis Cardinals for the final time this season. Not just the series, but the season. Brief recap on what has happened. Well, in Game 1, the Pirates, they were up to an early lead, and then they kind of lost it along the way. Did fight back in the ninth, but the Cardinals were able to seal it in the bottom of the ninth to win 7-6. For the Game 2, Pirates all over the Cardinals, 8-3. And then yesterday, the Pirates squeaking out one, winning 2-1 against the Cardinals. They've already taken the season series against the Cardinals. I can kind of show you that on the screen. So as you can see, the Pirates in the bottom right, right beneath me, the Pirates, they've won the series. I don't know what the heck is going on. It says that the Cardinals have, but that is not true. Wait, no, that's currency. My bad. Okay, there we go. My bad. Okay, 7-5 for the season series, so it doesn't really matter what happens today. The Cardinals, again, they need this a lot more than the Pirates if they want any chance of even squeaking in the playoffs. I really had them. They needed to win them 3 games this series. The best we can do for them is 2, and that's if, of course, they win today. I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals, but it might not be the playoffs for them this year. So you can look at the NL Central standings. Again, they come in with a 65-69 record. Like I said, they really needed to take advantage of the struggling Pirates who can't travel on the road. Their record, even with the 2-1 record this series, is 20-45. They're just really terrible whenever they leave Pittsburgh. At home, though, they actually are one of the best teams in baseball, 39-30. That's pretty solid. That comes out to 78-60. So just, that's pretty good. Anyway, yeah, the Pirates at 59-75. So, the Cardinals, again, 7.5 back. Of course, it doesn't help that the Mets swept the Phillies. They won all 3, and the Reds, of course, dropping 3. So the Mets distant, and that's really what we kind of assumed. Draven says CTE. Maybe that's me. I don't know. Did I mess it up there? Oh, you're talking about the series, probably. Anyway, my bad. My bad, man. But yeah, no, it's the Cardinals, again, they really needed to take advantage of the Pirates, but the Pirates looking pretty good. They've actually they're 7-3. They've actually won 7 of the last 9. So maybe the Pirates showing that, hey, you know what, we're going to finish pretty strong and get your hopes up for next year, but then do it all over again. Do the same thing. So hopefully not. For the Cardinals, it's going to be Miles Mikolas. He's been around for a while. 6-10 record, 5.17 ERA, whip of a 1.36. His last 7 starts, it's actually a little bit worse. 5.85 ERA with a whip of a 1.58. Starting lineups for the Cardinals: Nootbaar, Herrera, Burleson, Contreras, Gorman, Wynn, Sagasi, or is it Sagazi? I think. I can't remember. Walker and Pozo. Starting for the Pirates is Braxton Ashcraft. He's been very good. 4-2 record, 2.70 ERA, whip of a 1.18. His last 7 games, 2.78 ERA with a whip of below a 1.88. So again, really solid for the youngster there. Starting lineups for the Pirates is Horwitz, Pham, Reynolds, Gonzalez, Cruz, Bart, Sawinski, Peguero, and Kiner Falefa. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Hopefully we have a good one today here in St. Louis as Horwitz is approaching the plate. What up, Doctor? How's it going? Jason, thank you for stopping on by. Yeah, I'm kind of debating. I don't know when's the next time I can. I will definitely try to get a Brewers game in here very soon. Well, you know what? Now everyone's cleared the field. Now the umpires are on the home plate there. So maybe I jumped the gun there. So it looks like we have to wait for a little bit because for some reason nobody is now on the field. So bear with me. What the heck? Anyway, yeah, no, the score will be 5-1. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, the Pirates, Cardinals. I guess, in a little bit of a delay. I don't really know what's happening, but the umpires again. Try to see if Greg Brown can fill me in. Nothing. We're all just chatting away as Tommy Pham chats it up with the Cardinals fan. That's interesting. All right, the Cardinals now taking the field, so probably about another 2 minutes. Again, thank you guys for stopping on by. Hopefully we get some baseball very, very soon. Again, the Cardinals, they have struggled as of late. And again, the Mets, of course, sweeping the Phillies. I'm not saying it's over, but just under 30 games to go, it's not looking too good for the Cardinals. If, there are any Cardinals fans out there that were hoping to maybe squeak into the playoffs. Right now, you're 7.5 back with about, 28 games to go. So you really got to get it together. Can't wait for you to do another. Yeah, it's either going to be, honestly, either Sunday or Monday, or both. Both is possible as well. The Pirates don't play Monday, and depending on what I'm doing for Labor Day, I might be able to do 2 games. So I know they play the Phillies, and I'll be going up against a guy that usually gets really good views for the Phillies. He does Phillies, but I might do it. I might just say whatever. We're going to go ahead and give it a go. We'll go Brewers Phillies on a Monday, and of course I want to also try to do Reds Blue Jays, which is right. That's at 12 my time, and then 3 is the Brewers game. So that might be happening. That's probably going to happen. So we'll see. Again, the starting lineup for the Pirates as we're about to get underway. Horwitz, Pham, Reynolds, Gonzalez, Cruz, Bart, Sawinski, Peguero, and Kiner Falefa. Cardinals lineup: Nootbaar, Herrera, Burleson, Contreras, Gorman, Wynn, Sagasi, Walker, and Pozo. As they're still practicing on the field. Gosh, darn it. Doctor, when was your last Braves game? It actually wasn't too long ago, to be honest with you, and I haven't seen Holden in a while. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Let's see. Braves, actually, yeah, it was just 2 weeks ago. It's not too bad. For a team not really going to the playoffs, it's not too bad. Okay, again, we're still, I do apologize. Wish I would have known what was happening. I don't even know why they were all chatting away, the umpires, and say replay what happened Monday. Contreras just losing his mind, throwing the bat and hitting his own coach. The umpire again throwing out Contreras and the manager, and then somebody, I'm assuming it was Contreras, threw the gum on the field. As here is the pitch. Oh, look at that. We're already out, as that is in there for a called strike. Horwitz batting .257, OPS of .718, 7 homers, and 38 RBIs. 0-1 count. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. 0-2. 1-0 Brewers in the first. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the Brewers losing last night to the Diamondbacks. Very unfortunate there. 0-2 count as Mikolas kicks and deals. That is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 count to Spencer Horwitz. He is 3 for 11 in the series with a walk, and of course a home run as well. Here is the 1-2. Checked his swing, appealed to third. He did not go. Able to hold up in time. Count is 2-2 to Horwitz as Mikolas kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. Or is it Mikolas? I can't remember. Mikolas or Mikolas? It might be Mikolas. I think I said Mikolas earlier. I honestly cannot remember. Miles Mikolas. We're going to go with that one. 2-2 count. Mikolas kicks and deals. Breaking ball, that is outside for ball 3. Hey! Someone checking in on my lunch break. Good to catch some baseball with you. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. 3-2 counts. Mikolas begins the windup and the pitch. That's going to be poked at and fouled back. there's any WNBA fans, make sure to check out Snowman. He does the Indiana Fever. Of course, that's probably the most popular team, so definitely check out Snowman for all your WNBA needs. Of course, he does other sports as well, as here is the 3-2. Ground ball to first, and looks like Contreras is going to take it himself for out number 1. All right, one away for the Pirates. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, some would call him the Antonio Brown of baseball. Some would. Not many. He's batting .264, OPS of 721, 7 homers and 40 RBIs. For the series, he is 1 for 7 with 2 RBIs. As Mikolas kicks and deals, Pham hits this to left. The left fielder's back at the wall, and that one is going to be gone. Oh, my goodness. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. The Pirates take a 1-0 lead as Tommy Pham hits his 8th home run of the season. He's been such a different player since his contacts or LASIK surgery. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the contacts. But, oh, my goodness. That one was out of here over the bullpen and left, and that's, yeah. Jeez, that'll bring up Brian Reynolds, batting .246, OPS of 717, 14 homers and 66 RBIs. Took a short break from play-by-play due to some anxiety and exhaustion. I'll be back tomorrow. I totally understand that. You got to take care of yourself, man, as that's going to be inside for ball 1. Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. Yeah, no, I can understand. 1-0 count to Brian Reynolds. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Breaking ball, that was just slow like a balloon. Reynolds could not get a hold of that one. Reynolds for the series is 4 for 13, including a home run and 3 RBIs with a walk. Here is the 1-1. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. Reynolds' career against Mikolas. I'm going to bounce around and say Mikolas, and I do apologize for that. But he's batting .357, 1 homer, 6 RBIs, OPS of 941 against the right-handed Mikolas. I don't know. I wish I could pick one and stick with it. As here is the 1-2. That is going to be inside. Hit him on the knee. So look at that, Brian Reynolds. Hit by a pitch. As that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. Batting .275, OPS of 697, 5 homers and 20 RBIs. For the series is 1 for 8. You're hungover, but ready to hit some parlays today. Well, hello there. How's it going, Hammer? Thank you for stopping on by, and I'm sure you'll do well with all your parlays. Here is the pitch. That is right down the middle for a called strike. Count is 0-1, runner on first. Top of the first. Pirates already ahead 1-0. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Mikolas is ahead 0-2. He comes to a set. Kicks and deals. Chopper, and that's off his foot, as that is a foul ball. You're waiting on hockey. It's the only time you do bets. Interesting. Hockey is very random. I would never bet hockey. Hockey and baseball are very random. Count is 0-2 to Gonzalez. Mikolas from the stretch. Grounder to third, and that's going to get past him down the left field line. Now it takes a little bit of a bounce. Reynolds is going to chill at third. Gonzalez, I don't know if he stayed at first or went to second, but he's at second. Look at that, a double. A one-out double, and the Pirates appear to be swinging the bat well today. That'll bring up O'Neal Cruz, batting .203, OPS of 693, 18 homers and 52 RBIs. For the series, he is 0 for 7 with 2 walks. Looking for his first hit of the series. Michaelis sets, kicks, and deals. Breaking ball, that is in there for a called strike. Again, Michaelis struggling this year. Of course, he's a little bit older. Not saying that you can't be successful as an older guy, but he's definitely been around, so he may be slowing down. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be poked to center, and that's going to be caught by Wynn, who made a nice run there for out number 2. All right, that'll bring up Joey Bart. It's batting .245, OPS of .665, 2 homers and 21 RBIs. For the series, he is 1 for 4. Again, runners on second and third for the Pirates, already up 1-0 here in the top of the first. Michaelis sets, kicks, and deals. That is in there for a called strike. 88 on the upper part of the zone. The trade I did to get Chuba Hubbard, well, he dropped Tony to get Rashid Rice, and now he's suspended, so it's, what the heck? What in the world? 0-1 count, here's the pitch. That is inside for ball 1. Almost hit him. Had to get out of the way there. Yeah, if you pick up Tony Pollard, I mean, wow. Joey Bart, believe it or not, runners in scoring position this year, batting .297. Here's the 1-1. Bart pops it up. And Nootbaar is there and makes the catch for out number 3. But hey, the Pirates still strike first here as Tommy Pham with his 8th home run of the season. The Pirates take a 1-0 advantage over the Cardinals as we head to the bottom of the first. Once again, folks, thank you guys so much for choosing me as your voice for this one. Appreciate it. I will mess up from time to time, as I just did. Of course, leave a like, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of sports, especially if you're a Pittsburgh fan. But, of course, if you're a sports fan in general, definitely subscribe. I do bounce around, but for the most part, it is a Pittsburgh channel. But for the most, again, I still bounce around. Of course, the postseason's not too far from now, so definitely subscribe for that. I'll be doing a lot of, specifically, really, the NL side of the postseason. Might do an AL game if there's no NL game to do that day. But, yeah, definitely subscribe. If you're a sports fan and you're tuning in, subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with the Dr. Delay. You got a haircut? Yeah, I just did. Yeah, it's... Oh, man, now I need to put on a hat. Jeez. I don't know. I'm just... Every time I see it, it's like, yep, that it keeps going back. It's going back a little bit more. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Just thank you, though. Yeah. It is somewhat exciting. Of course, I'll be calling for the local high school tomorrow, so got to look a little bit more presentable when I'm up in the booth. Again, the pitcher for the Pirates is Braxton Ashcraft. He has been very good. 2.70 ERA, whip of a 1.18. That is your starting pitcher for the Pirates, and he will face Nootbaar. Nootbaar with a .233 batting average, OPS of .705, 13 homers and 44 RBIs. For the series, he is actually 0 for 10, but he does have 3 walks. Yeah, I was looking like a mess with all my hair and the beard. It was gross. It was just, I was letting myself go. All right, here we go. As we're starting to show Bubba Chandler. Okay, well, I thought we were ready to go, but apparently we were not. My bad, guys. False alarm. You wanted baseball, I got you an interview that I can hear and you can't. Is interviewing, though, Bubba Chandler, the Pirates' young prospect, just called up, looking really good in his first 2 games as Ashcraft kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 1. 97 on the radar gun. Again, Ashcraft has looked pretty good. Looking for another solid start today. As here is the 1-0. Breaking ball, that is in there for a called strike. 1-1. Nootbaar again looking for his first hit of the series. Here's the 1-1. Grounder. Oh, Ashcraft, it hits his knee. Throws to first for out number 1. Was able to bat it down. Hopefully it wasn't at the knee. Regardless, there's 1 out. Looks like the infield's kind of checking on him. I'm sure he's fine. Ivan Herrera is going to be due up for the Cardinals. He's batting .281, OPS of .782, 10 homers and 47 RBIs. He is 2 for 5 in the series. Swing and a miss. Ball way outside for strike 1. Fastball. 0-1 count. You should let yourself go in the summer. Too hot. Or it's too hot to care. Yeah, I guess so. As here is the 0-1. That's going to be low for ball 1. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to, for some reason, I didn't want to get a haircut. But now I did. For football season, I guess. Here's the 1-1. Grounder to short. Bat shatters. Throws to first for out number 2. So Herrera's definitely going to be using a different bat next time. So 2 away for the Cardinals. That'll bring up Alec Burleson. Burleson batting .288, OPS of .792, 16 homers and 60 RBIs. Normally does really good against the Pirates, though he hasn't, well, I don't know. I can't tell you the 25th game, so that's a shame. Last 2 games, I can tell you, he's 1 for 8. I know he did well in the first one. I think he had 3 hits, as that's going to be outside for ball 1. Do you think we'll have a Wilson Contreras tantrum today? I would say no, but that was definitely entertaining, though. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That is a check swing. Low. Did not go. So it's 2-0. 2-0. 2 outs. Nobody on. Ashcraft kicks and fires. Breaking ball. That is inside for ball 3. 3-0 to Burleson. Ashcraft kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up, well, he was ejected on Monday. Wilson Contreras batting .257, OPS of .792, 19 homers and 73 RBIs. I don't know why they're taking away the 25th game. Regardless, last few days he's 0 for 7, but again, I do apologize. I should, I guess, have written it all down. Here is the pitch. That is right down the middle for a called strike. Doctor, how long do you think Tua continues to be the starter for the Dolphins? I mean, he did sign that contract, so I don't know, probably a little bit for a while, I would say. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Really depends on the health and who's available. I mean Tua, whenever he plays, the Dolphins are really good. I mean, to a degree. When he doesn't play, that team is terrible. Here's the 0-2. Grounder, and that's going to be, oh no! Swing and a miss. Pardon me. It's acting like it was a ground ball there. I apologize. He struck him out. Of course, the screen was very small because we decided to show Bubba Chandler on the big part of the screen. I'm a failure, folks. Regardless, we're heading to the top of the second. The Pirates lead 1-0. Hopefully that means we'll see more of the game coming up. Once again, folks, appreciate you guys for tuning on in. I know I've botched already a few calls today, so that tells me how this one's going to go. But I do appreciate you for sticking with me. Of course, I do. And again, make sure to hit the like button. That like button is awesome. If you hit the dislike button at this point, I don't blame you, really, actually. That's fair. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan. I do a lot of Pittsburgh sports, but of course I have been known to bounce around last 2 days. I was out in San Francisco, not me personally, but of course covering the games in San Francisco, Cubs and Giants. And, yeah, Oh, again, this is kind of what I do, play-by-play. Been doing it since opening day, so I'm not going anywhere. It's not like you'll subscribe to the channel. Then you know what? I got this subscriber. I'm done. No, that's not what I'm going to do. So again, you're going to get your money's worth. By the way, it's $0.00. Get all your mistakes out with us adults, high school kids. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be fine. I'll be actually there at the stadium. It's a little harder to do it through the TV because you're at the mercy of what they show you. While when you're on the booth, you can see the field and all that stuff, and you're actually there. Like, I always keep my eyes on the field. That's why I get really frustrated when they decide to, let's go and look at this guy in the crowd, or let's go and, like last night, the Cubs broadcast was just showing their reporter was chilling in the bay. I would say about 5% of the game, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a good bit. Chilling with her rather than showing the game. That was very frustrating. Jack Suwinski is going to be due up. He's batting 127, OPS of 522, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. For the series, he is 1 for 5 with 2 walks. Here is the pitch. That is outside for ball 1. Just need 2 bases from Cruz. Okay, we'll see. Count is 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Contreras' glove got a little bit of a piece of it, but he smoked that ball. Had no chance. None whatsoever. Captain Jack just smoked it. Oh, my goodness. Well, only a single, though. Of course, again, the Contreras' glove was able to get a piece of it. That'll bring up Liover Peguero. He's batting 194, OPS of 648, 4 homers and 7 RBIs, as Suwinski takes his lead at first. Michaelis kicks and deals. That is low for ball 1. Peguero is 0 for 7 in the series. I know this is going to sound really weird, but I actually went, there was a Facebook discussion about the Pirates. I'll get to more of that soon. Here's the 1-0. That is inside for ball 2. And for some reason, I understand the Pirates' hitting has been pretty bad, but everyone was just singling out Jack Suwinski. I'm like, look, the Pirates, I assure you, the Pirates have a lot of problems, but Jack Suwinski is not the sole problem of the team. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Hey, he gets on base. I know he needs to learn how to hit. Refine that form, that 2023 form. But, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. 2-1 count. Michaelis pickoff attempt, but Suwinski is back safe and sound. Jacob, how's it going? If this was the show, that would have been straight to the glove. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. There are none of those in the show. 2-1 count. Michaelis sets, rocks and fires. That is low. So it's 3-1. Did I get a haircut? I did. I'm bald. I am bald. Not clean shaven. I did actually mess up. You won't be able to notice, though. Count is 3-1. Here's the pitch. Chopper, and that's going foul. 3-2 count to Peguero. Again, a runner on first. Nobody out here in the top of the second. The Pirates lead 1-0. Tommy Pham with the solo shot in the first. Here's the 3-2. That is outside for ball 4. So runners on first and second for the Pirates with still nobody out. And that will bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Kiner-Falefa batting .270, OPS of 646. 1 homer and 35 RBIs. For the series, he is 4 for 8. So that's pretty good. Michaelis sets. Rocks and fires. Showing bunt, and he gets the bunt down. Michaelis, he's just going to have to throw it to first for out number 1. Really good bunt, as that moves both runners up to second and third. So sacrifice bunt. That'll bring up Spencer Horwitz. Horwitz batting .256, OPS of 716, 7 homers, and 38 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Again, two runners in scoring position for the Pirates. The battling Buccos, if you will. Michaelis sets and deals. Way inside. Horwitz had to get out of the way. 88. Coming at your face. That's not fun. Do have a poll going up. 91% of you guys think the Pirates are going to win today. Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen a poll that skewed in the Pirates' favor before. Here's the 1-0. Checked his swing. Did he go? He did. 1-1. Count is 1-1. Michaelis sets, kicks, and deals. That is outside for ball 2. Doctor, my Chiefs friend, was hating heavy on the Steelers because of the Cam Hayward stuff and said we have the worst culture. That is actually crazy. Well, I wasn't a fan of the Cam Hayward stuff either. He showed how much of a hypocrite he is. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. I think our culture's it's good. It's definitely different, and I appreciate that it's different than the rest of the league. I'm not saying it's good, though, because, I don't know, we haven't won a playoff game in 8 years, so something's wrong. Well, I kind of know what's wrong, but it's a controversial topic. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Chopper right back to Michaelis. Michaelis is going to throw to first for out number 2, so the runners have to stay at second and third. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. Pham, of course, had that home run in the first inning. It's batting .267, OPS of 735, 8 homers, and 41 RBIs. I don't know what Hayward... I don't know if there's really... From what I saw, most of Steeler Nation pretty against what Hayward did, is that's going to be outside for ball 1. You know. You either want to be a Steeler or you don't. You know, that was what he said. He literally said that months ago. I mean, that's just a tone-deaf thing that he did. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. Tomlin always looks like he couldn't care less. He always presents himself, to me, he presents himself as a no-nonsense guy, right? Like, he doesn't take none of that nonsense. But in reality, he actually puts up with it. So much more. He lets it go. Here's the 1-1. That is in there for a call strike. Pham didn't like the call, but no, that one was in the zone. I don't agree with Cam, but to attach it to the whole culture thing, is it fair? Also, yeah, that's where I put the blame. I blame him. You gotta. It starts at the top. 1-2 counts. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. That is outside for ball 2. Of course, I blame the owner. Art Rooney Jr., he's nothing like his dad or his grandfather. I mean, those two actually loved the Steelers and cared about winning, you know, out in the community. This guy does not do that. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Oh, man, he struck him out. We head to the bottom of the second. The Pirates not able to push across those runners. The score remains 1-0. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on in. Make sure, of course, to like and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Lay. Of course, it is mostly Pirates on the channel, but of course, I do bounce around. Like the last few nights, I was just hanging out in San Francisco with the Cubs and the Giants. But yeah, it's a sports channel, so if you're a sports fan, tune on in and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. It is free. Won't cost you a dime. It will not. And of course, I do appreciate you guys tuning on in. Again, the Pirates, worst they can do today is split the series, and the Cardinals, again, they're 7.5 back. Their playoff chances looking grim. I don't remember what ESPN had them. Let's see here. 0.2%. Yeah, that's not good. So Cardinals fans, if there's any here, definitely got to hope that your team gets their act together. Gorman will be at the plate whenever we do return to action. He's batting .225, OPS of 744, 13 homers and 42 RBIs. He is 2 for 11 in the series with the home run and a walk. Did I say free? I did. I did, Pittsburgh. Thank you, as always, for tuning on in. Thank you, sir. It is free. You don't have to pay a dime to subscribe. All right, we're returning to action again in the bottom of the second where the Pirates lead 1-0 over the Cardinals. Gorman again coming to the plate as Ashcraft kicks and deals. That is inside for ball one. Count is 1-0 to Gorman. Ashcraft delivers, and that's going to be in there for a called strike. 96 right down the middle. On your planning. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be way inside. Did it get a piece of him? Looks like he was able to dance out of the way. 2-1. Well, I'm glad it's your pleasure. I guess I can't understand. Anyway, here is the 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. JJ from Philly sent ya. Well, hello there. Well, thank you again. JJ's been very supportive of this little channel. I appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoy it, as Gorman does ask for time. Just joining us again, the Pirates leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. It's a 2-2 count to Gorman. Here is the pitch. That's going to be popped up. Bart looks at it, and we'll see it become a souvenir. I'm not as good as JJ, so if you're expecting that, I do apologize. I try, though. I try. The goal is to become the best possible play-by-play guy. Play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Once again, a 2-2 count. Ashcraft kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is a foul ball. Oh, the old ball guy could not get there in time, so he's like, well, Reynolds, I need you to help me out. Reynolds like, well, I guess I'll help you out, but that's your job. That's not what he said. Here is the 2-2. I don't know what happened there, but swing and a miss. He struck him out. This is a disaster of a play-by-play stream, folks. I am so sorry. This is not good. I try to go and be silly, and it makes me pay. That'll bring up Mason Wynn with one out here in the bottom of the second, batting .256, OPS of 684, 9 homers and 46 RBIs. Here is the pitch. That is outside. Oh, it's called a strike. 0-1. Michaelis and Palante are two of the worst pitchers in the league, and they both play for the Cards. Yeah, unfortunate. Andre. Here's the pitch. That's going to be chopped foul. So it's 0-2. Yeah, they've had a rough year. Rough year. If you're a Cardinals fan, that's just, it's rough. Pirates fan since 1967. Okay. Yeah, no, that sounds like my dad. He's been a Pirates fan forever. Though he doesn't really care for today's Pirates, and I don't really blame him. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Wynn had something to say to the umpire for some reason, but it is what it is. Might have had issue with the first strike call. Because, yeah, no, that's about where it landed, to be honest with you. That was way outside. That'll bring up Thomas Sajazi. He's batting .247, OPS of 608, 1 homer and 15 RBIs. As Ashcraft kicks and fires. That is outside for ball one. Count is 1-0, and looks like we actually have a little bit of a delay. Bart is heading over to the dugout. His glove just fell apart. So Bart fell apart. Okay, so it looks like we're in a little bit of a delay here. It'll be a 1-0 count when we do return. Again, I do apologize for that, but I can't really control that. I do apologize for the fact that I've been a failure today. It's been a rough outing for me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just here. All right, looks like Bart is coming back onto the field again. Pirates leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Nobody on, 2 outs. It's a 1-0 count. Ashcraft begins the windup, and here's the pitch. That is inside for ball 2. So they'll go to 2-0 on Sajazi. Here's the 2-0, and that'll be in there for a called strike. Again, a favorable call for the Pirates. That one was well outside. And the umpire is looking really solid until all of a sudden this inning. 2-1. Ashcraft kicks and deals. That's going to be a grounder, and that's going to get through for a base hit in between short and third. Pham is there and throws it in. So a 2-out single for the Cardinals. First hit of the day. That'll bring up Jordan Walker. Walker's batting .231, OPS of .603, 4 homers and 32 RBIs. Ashcraft looks over at first, comes to a set, rocks and fires. That's going to be hit to right, and that will get out of play. Count is 0-1 to Jordan Walker. Has yet to really show, I guess, what the Cardinals have been expecting. You know, his first year pretty solid. Last year was not so great, and this year's more of last year. Here's the 0-1. That'll be outside for ball 1. But he's only 23, so you have plenty of time to try to fix him. And a pickoff attempt, but he is back safe and sound. Count is 1-1 to Walker. Ashcraft sets. Rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 96 on the outside corner. One and two. Ashcraft looks back. Sets, and Walker will of course ask for time. Saw him do that a lot, and it was kind of annoying, you know, in his in the series in Pittsburgh. He would wait until the pitcher would come to a set whenever it was 2 strikes, and then at the last second he would ask for time. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. I believe that was the 4th strike, and it was 4 strikeouts for Ashcraft as we head to the top of the 3rd. The Pirates lead 1-0. Give Chapman the Cy Young. I don't know about that. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on in. Appreciate you guys for clicking on this little channel. It really does help out a lot. Make sure to leave a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan. Specifically, you know, like I do a lot of Pirates and, of course, the Steelers. But, again, I do bounce around, so it's not exclusively a Pittsburgh channel. Like last 2 nights, I was out doing the Cubs and Giants games. Of course, back for the series finale in St. Louis. Of course, a special shout-out to the donors and, of course, the members of the channel. Thank you very much. I mean, it's really awesome. Like, I just can't believe it, honestly. But, of course, Coffee Beans is our scoreboard sponsor, so that means we're going to check out what's happening across Major League Baseball. Currently, the Red Sox and the Orioles are tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 7th. The Astros lead the Rockies 3-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. And the Diamondbacks, they're currently leading the Brewers 3-2 in the top of the 3rd. Of course, that is all that's happening for now. We probably will see the Cubs and Giants, see a little bit of that. But other than that, that is pretty much it. Of course, I'll be back tonight. If you're a college football fan, I'll be doing Miami of Ohio and Wisconsin. Might seem random, but not really. And I won't be explaining why I'm picking the games that I do. Other than, yeah, I won't be doing it. Can't give out the secret. All right, due up for the Pirates is Brian Reynolds. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Spanning 246, OPS of 718, 14 homers, and 66 RBIs. Again, he has looked like such a different player since the All-Star break. Last 30 games, OPS of 895. That is the Brian Reynolds that we know and love. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is a foul ball. Count is 0-1 to Brian Reynolds. Again, we're just starting the top of the 3rd, where the Pirates again lead 1-0. Michaelis kicks and deals. Grounder, and that is heading foul. You'll be watching St. Francis rooting for the upset. Oh, yeah, I bet. But that'll be a nice payout. Count is 0-2. Here's the pitch. That is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Who do they play again? I can't remember. I'm going to look at that. St. Francis. Oh, yeah, that's right. UL Monroe. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brian Reynolds. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to left. And that is also going foul. Reynolds, again, he struggled the first part of the year. It was really kind of worrying, but again, he's picked it up as the season's went along. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be poked at and once again fouled back. So the count remains at 1-2. The Pirates, of course, going for their 60th win of the season. There was a moment in time, I'm not going to lie, especially earlier on, was Shelton. And I'm like, you know what? The Pirates they're going to lose 100 games. Well, luckily, we've been about a 500 team since we fired Shelton. As here is the 1-2. That's going to be poked and once again fouled back. As Reynolds is just trying to stay alive here, just protecting. Once again, 1-2 count. Michaelis at 47 pitches as we're, again, just starting the 3rd inning. Michaelis doesn't like what he's hearing on the pitch comm. Here is the pitch. That is low for ball 2. 85 below the knees. St. Francis, that is in the Pittsburgh area, right? I can't remember. I think they are in Pennsylvania. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be hit to left center. And Burleson will make the catch for out number 1. All right, that will bring up Nick Gonzalez. He is 1 for 1. He's batting .277, OPS of 706, 5 homers and 20 RBIs. Pirates Brewers playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's such a bummer that it has to be that weekend. I cannot cover the Friday game as here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. I can't cover the Sunday game because of the Steelers. And the Saturday game is, I guess, to be determined. I really want to, though. I really want to. 0-1, here's the pitch. That's going to be chopped off the catcher's mask as he is, well, he's sitting down. And he's holding his head. So that must have really shaken him up. Of course, I mean, it's not hard to imagine why. So a little bit of an injury delay. So they're checking him out. I will go back and look at the schedule. So again, a little bit of injury delay, so bear with us, folks. I'm going to be kind of taking a peek at when the Pirates play the Brewers. 5:40. That's probably doable. That is probably doable. I'm going to show the replay here again. Gonzalez just got a piece of it and just hit the catcher. The ball hit the catcher like right here. I mean, that is just flush as can be. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, if he had a concussion, it really wouldn't surprise me. Oh, showing it at full speed all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. He is still down. So, of course, he's chatting. He says I think I read his lips. He says he's good. He's good. It looks like they might be going to try to go through with this. So I will look again at what's happening next week. Again, we have an injury delay, so bear with me, folks. So I'm looking at what is happening next Saturday. Okay, well, I'll look at that later. Looks like he's going to try to continue. I imagine they're going to throw some practice pitches as he gets a nice round of applause. So one, he's just saying he needs one. And he's good. All right. All right, he's going to stay in the ball game. That's good to see. All right, now he gets another. All right, once again, it's Gonzalez at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with one out here. He's not 0 for 2. He's facing an 0-2 count. He's 1 for 1. It's an 0-2 count with one out here in the top of the third. Nobody on. Michaelis kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That will bring up O'Neal Cruz. He is 0 for 1. He's batting .203, OPS of .692, 18 homers, and 52 RBIs. Hammer, of course, needs him to get 2 bases here, as here is the pitch. Checked his swing. That is outside for ball 1. One and 0 to Cruz. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. That is in there for a called strike. Pirates are dangerous to bad teams, but struggle against the good ones. I don't know, Andre. I think we're pretty bad across the board. Here's the 1-1. That is way inside for ball 2. I mean, the Pirates did lose to the Rockies. They lost the series in Colorado. They got swept by the White Sox. We lost the series in Miami to start off the year. So I don't know. Here is the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. I don't think it really matters who we play. It's all about the Pirates. What are they going to do that day? Doesn't really matter the opponent can the Pirates hit or not. That's really it. Which is so frustrating when we know the problem of the team, and yet upper management doesn't. Or they do, but they don't care. 2-2 count. Michaelis kicks and deals. That's going to be poked at and hit to left, but that is a foul ball. Once again, 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Nobody on. Pirates lead 1-0 over the Cardinals. They've already won the season series. Can they win this series? Here is the 2-2. Called strike 3 at the knees. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts. And that's how the inning will end. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. The Pirates still lead 1-0 over the Cardinals. Once again, folks, thank you guys so much for stopping on by and of course, clicking on the live stream. That really does help out this little channel. Super thank you if you're able to leave a like. Hit that like button. That helps out little channels a lot. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you are a sports fan. Again, I do a lot of Pirates, and, of course, I'll be doing a lot of the Steelers. But, again, I do bounce around Major League Baseball. And if you want proof, I guess I can scroll through if you're one of those that are able to look at the phone or tablet or whatever. I mean, again, here you go. A lot of black and yellow, black and gold. But, again, you'll see games that don't have black and yellow, black and gold. But, of course, the priority is Pittsburgh. So, rest assured, Pittsburgh fans, that, yeah, this is more so a Pittsburgh channel. But again, I do bounce around because, honestly, who would blame you if you weren't interested in the Pirates right now? I mean, shoot, that's just the way it is. Due up for the Cardinals is going to be Pozo, Nootbaar, and Herrera. Again, Pozo is the one that just took the fastball to the dome as far as on the the catcher's mask. So we'll see if he's going to finish it out. But right now it looks like he will be. Not looking good for Hammer. Yeah, unfortunately. Cruz's swing's just horrible. He's almost on auto. At this point, yeah, he has struggled. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I kind of do. He's just, Pirates fans, I think, you either think he's amazing or you think he's terrible. He's in the I don't even know if he's in the middle, to be honest with you, but he definitely has a lot of problems. Definitely has a lot of issues with his game. Pozo at the plate, or coming to the plate. He's batting .247, OPS of .678, 5 homers, and 19 RBIs. Good afternoon, Sean. Thank you for tuning on in. Here is the pitch. Ground ball to third. IKF throws to first for out number 1. So look at that, very quickly, 1 out, and that'll bring up Lars Nootbaar. He's batting .232, OPS of .704, 13 homers and 44 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 on the day. How's every little thing? Everything's okay today so far. It's much better than yesterday. I had a horrible day, to be honest with you. As here is the pitch. That is outside for ball 1. Do you know why Contreras got suspended from the Cards? Well, he kind of had that thing that happened Monday, as here is the 1-0. That is in there for a called strike. He got ejected for arguing a call and then threw his bat, and it hit one of the Cardinals coaches, and then he threw bubblegum on the field, which I feel like is probably the smallest offense of the 3, of course, as that's going to be in the dirt for ball 2. But, yeah, I would say that's probably why. 2-1 count. Maybe someone will fall for the hype in the offseason. Yeah, it'd be nice to move him and get something in return. That's going to be outside for ball 3. I don't know. It's a tough one because I could easily see. Let's just say, for example, right? We trade O'Neal Cruz. Let's just say he goes to the Dodgers. I feel like he would probably become a superstar out there. Here's the 3-1. That is in there for a cold strike. So, I don't know. It's a tough one with Cruz because he has the potential. Will he put in the work for it? I don't know. I feel like the Dodgers would be able to. Yeah, no, that guy's OPS every year, 900, Here is the 3-2. Ground ball, and that's going foul. Was Jim Edmonds better on the Cardinals or the Angels? To be honest, I didn't even know he played on the Angels. For me, I know he played on the Cardinals and the Cubs. Count is 3-2. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to right center, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Cruz is there. It's going to rifle it to second. And look at that. Nootbaar's going to have to go back. Again, that's where Cruz is very handy. He has a cannon of an arm. Can he control it? Well, sometimes, and he controlled it there. Because I assure you, Nootbaar was booking it to second, but then he had to retreat back because that was just a cannon. That'll bring up Ivan Herrera. He's batting .280, OPS of .780. 10 homers and 47 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Herrera is 0 for 1 on the day. Again, runner on first here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. He did not go. That one was just upstairs for ball 1. Count is 1-1. Ashcraft sets. And looks like Herrera is going to ask for time. Yeah, I don't know if there's really much interest in the Cardinals right now for a variety of reasons. One, stadium is a lot less filled. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be chopped foul. Of course, I understand it's during the day and during the week, but even that night game on Monday, really wasn't packed, like you would normally think. Of course, I know there's a disconnect from the ownership and the fans, the trying to slash payroll and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Here is the 1-2. That is going to be hit to right, but that is going out of play. Growing up, of course, the Cardinals were usually a team that would be pretty much right there. They were the consistent team. Yeah, the Brewers would then rise, and they would fall. Then the Cubs would rise, and then they would fall. The Reds would rise, and then they would fall. The Cardinals were the constant in the NL Central. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be hit to left, and that is definitely going to get down for a base hit and possibly more. Pham is there. Nootbaar is being waved home, and Peguero's going to hold it, and now we have a guy caught up in a rundown in between second and third, and that is Herrera, who's just going back and forth, and he's tagged out by Horwitz. But Herrera did his job, bringing in Nootbaar, as it's a tie game. Herrera trying to be like Josh Harrison, but that just isn't happening. The rundown king. That'll bring up Alec Burleson. He's batting .288 OPS of .793, 16 homers and 60 RBIs. That was pretty neat. Here's the pitch. That's going to be popped up. Shallow center. And look, there might be that was close. Cruz is able to make the catch. But Pham was coming in pretty hard there. He got out of the way at the last second. Pardon me. That'll be the end of the third inning. We head to the top of the fourth where the score is even at 1-1 here in St. Louis. Once again, folks, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I appreciate it. Again, it's a little channel, so I do appreciate you guys clicking on it. Definitely helps out the channel. Super thank you if you're able to leave a like. Hit that like button. It looks like that. That like button looks like that. Hit it right now. Click on it if you haven't done so already, as that helps the channel push it up. If there's a lot of competition for Pirates Cardinals, which for some reason there isn't, it'll push me up. And of course, subscribing to the channel helps. It is free. You don't have to pay a dime to subscribe to the channel. Of course, it's the end of the third inning. Again, shout out to all the members and the donors, of course. And again, thank you, Coffee Beans. Coffee Beans is the scoreboard sponsor. So we'll go over the scores across Major League Baseball. Red Sox lead the Orioles 3-2. Astros lead the Rockies 3-2. And the Diamondbacks all over the Brewers 6-2 in the bottom of the third. And that is pretty much it for today. And let's see if I can remember real quickly. We can go to Jim Edmonds, if I can be quick about it. Was he better on the Cardinals or the Angels? Why is my computer slow? We're going to reboot you after this one. Edmonds. Oh, definitely the Cardinals. Definitely the Cardinals. Yeah, my computer's slow. So that's probably too many apps open. I have to close that out. We're going to close that out. Oh, well, we'll just deal with it. All right, do it for the Pirates is Bart, Sawinski, and Peguero to start off the top of the fourth inning. I guess it has been been about a week or two since I've restarted the computer. Bart is batting .244, OPS of .663, 2 homers and 21 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Michaelis kicks and deals. Chopper, and that is going foul. 1-1 here in St. Louis. Ashcraft and Michaelis, the pitchers in this one. Here is the 0-1. Bart hits this to center. Nootbaar running back at the warning track and is able to get there in time to make the catch for round number 1. That'll bring up Captain Jack Sawinski. He's batting .134, OPS of .534, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. Thanks for looking up. Hey, you're welcome. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball, that is in there for a called strike. OPS of .534. Would like to see it go up a little bit here. Here's the 0-1. That is upstairs for ball 1. Count is 1-1. Michaelis at 62 pitches. Here's 63. That's going to be hit hard, but it is foul down the right field line. The Polish Power. Yeah, I prefer Captain Jack, but Polish, that's good. Sawinski. It's a fun name to say, honestly. 1-2 count. Here is the pitch. That's going to be chopped foul. It's kind of like your player for the Giants, which now he's on the Royals, Yastrzemski. I guess if it ends with a ski, it's like fun to say for an announcer or play-by-play. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There are some names that are just fun. You know, you bring up Chili Davis a lot. I wish there was a guy called Chili Davis playing today. Chili Davis, that would be so cool. 1-2 count as Michaelis comes to a set, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit hard, but also foul. Making good contact, but he's out in front. Again, these curveballs, they're in the 70s. Don't really see that much anymore. Breaking balls that are in the 70s. Count is 1-2. Michaelis kicks and fires. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 2. Sawinski laying off. I got in a Facebook discussion because of you, Sawinski, so you better pull through here. 2-2 count. Michaelis kicks and fires. That is way outside for ball 3. Chili Davis is about as good as any name. Yeah, I know. It's so good. It's a great name. Count is 3-2 to Jack Sawinski. Michaelis delivers. That's going to be hit hard, and again, foul. He's making great contact, but it's just he's way out in front. Oh, my goodness. Count is 3-2 once again. Michaelis kicks and deals. That'll be hit left, and that is going foul. Giants really open it up. Yeah, no, the Giants. I covered that one, as you know, and yeah, the Giants was, I believe, 11 runs. Endeavors, of course, yeah, 4 for 4. Had a great night. Once again, at 3-2 count, Michaelis rocks and fires. That's going to be hit. You'll never guess. It went foul. I wonder how many pitches. Oh, my goodness. Looks like we're doomed to stay here forever. Sawinski at the plate here at the top of the 4th. We'll just be here for the rest of the night, or afternoon, I should say. Count is 3-2. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled back at Lice. A very nice battle here. Working that pitch count. Michaelis at 71 now. Count is 3-1. 12 pitches. Here is the pitch. Sawinski hits this to center. Nootbaar is under it and makes the catch for out number 2. Hey, you know what? He took 12 pitches there. It's pretty good. That'll bring up Liover Peguero. He's batting 194, OPS of 658, 4 homers and 7 RBIs. Vita Blue, that's another good name. That would have been awesome. Vita Blue. Blue delivers. Blue rocks him. I don't know. I'd figure out something. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Strike one. Landed in Philly. Here with your uncle at okay. Well, thank you, Trisk. I'm glad all is well. 0-1 counts. Michaelis kicks and deals. That is way outside for ball one. Chile was good. 350 home runs. Wow. Yeah, pretty good. Count is 1-1. Here is the pitch. Grounder, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Wynn just couldn't get there in time, so a 2-out single. Throws it into second. I don't think Peguero's going to try that. Very quick about the throw. Peguero having a little dance over there. Interesting. That'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's batting 270, OPS of 646, 1 homer and 35 RBIs. Of course, he had a sacrifice bunt earlier. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. Nice haircut. Yeah, very funny. Let's go, Bucks. Hey, Denny, how's it going? How is it going? Trisk is obsessed with that number for some reason. I'm gonna have a chat with him. Here's the 0-1. Grounder to second. Tosses to second. Just beats him. Peguero, again, he's very fast. But the Cardinals were just a little bit faster as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score, 1-1, Pittsburgh and St. Louis. I don't know what in the world Trisk is doing here with that. We're gonna go ahead and just. We don't need that. We don't need that here. We don't need that vibe. Once again, folks, thank you guys so much for clicking on the live stream. It really does help out this little channel. Make sure, of course, to leave a like, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Pronounce Vida. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you, Jackson. Vida. Well, you know what? I didn't know how to do it. Trisk has to sarcastically say, thank you, Jackson. Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you, Jackson. I sincerely mean that. But, yeah, no, appreciate you. And you can see, the limited knowledge I have on baseball history. I'm more of an NFL guy, but baseball's been fun. I've watched more baseball this year than any other year. Of course, it would have been nice for the Pirates to be competitive. But maybe next year. Before the lockout. That would be something, wouldn't it? The Pirates competitive the year before the lockout. Then there's a lockout. And I guess we got to trade everybody / payroll because we don't have any money. I could see it. But yeah, again, if you're a sports fan, tune in. Make sure again to hit that like button and subscribe for more play-by-play. This is what I do. Of course, I'll be covering the postseason as well. Football, of course. We've got a football game tonight. So definitely do that. Definitely subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Contreras is going to be at the plate. He is 0 for 1. Let's see here. I don't know what's going on. Innings pitched in the last 3 seasons. Not really many. Not a lot of innings there for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. That has checked his swing. He went strike one. Contreras is batting .256, OPS of 790, 19 homers and 73 RBIs. He is 0 for 1 on the day as Ashcraft rocks and fires. Grounder to first. Horowitz has it and will take it himself for out number 1. That'll bring up Nolan Gorman. He's batting .224, OPS of 742, 13 homers and 42 RBIs. Gorman is also 0 for 1 on the day. Sent me a text, yeah. Saw a notification there. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to left, and that is going foul. I'll check it after the game, of course, unless I have free time. 0-1 count. Pirates again, Cardinals 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to left and also a foul ball. Yeah, 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Pirates struck first in the first inning. The Cardinals were able to tack on one in the last inning in the bottom of the third, and that's pretty much what has happened today. Count is 0-2 as Gorman adds some, I guess, pine tar to his gloves or something. No idea. All right, Gorman steps back into the box as we'll resume this one. Ashcraft begins the windup, and here is the pitch. That's going to be hit once again to the left, and that is once again a foul ball. 0-2. Ashcraft at 50 pitches. As he kicks and deals. Breaking ball, that is called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Gorman asking about it, but no, that was definitely on it for sure. He struck him out. That is 5 strikeouts for Ashcraft. He's batting .255, OPS of .682, 9 homers and 47 RBIs. Win is also 0 for 1. Here is the pitch. That's going to be hit to center. Cruz coming in and makes the catch for round number 3. All right, nothing doing there for the Cardinals, so we head to the top of the 5th where the score is still 1-1. Doctor, thoughts on Highsmith as a player? Pretty solid. He's hot and cold. That's the problem with Highsmith. He's a hot and cold player. But at his peak, he's really good. But I don't know. I mean, with all the depth we have in Herbig, he looks really good. We just drafted Jack Sawyer, who I think can be really good as well. So we have a lot of depth there. That's why, again, I wasn't actually. I got to a point where, like, you know, if we trade TJ, it's fine. We have the depth, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on in. Make sure to leave a like, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. It's free. You don't have to pay a dime. Of course, I do want to shout out the members and the donors. I really do appreciate you guys for your support. And of course, Coffee Beans with the Delay Dynasty tier is our scoreboard sponsor. So it's the end of the inning. That is what we do. We'll check out other scores. So thank you, Coffee Beans, for sponsoring this segment. As the Red Sox, they currently lead 3-2 over the Orioles in the bottom of the 9th. Astros and Rockies are tied at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. And the Diamondbacks, they lead 6-4 over the Brewers in the top of the 4th. Let's see, just another down the road, yeah. In Pennsylvania. Need the Marlins to beat the Mets. Well, I mean, the Marlins look good. Again, I mean, the Mets look good. The Marlins were actually almost 500 at one point, but they've kind of fallen apart. So, yeah, they actually were kind of sneaky there for a little bit. But, yeah, not good as of late, as Horwitz is stepping up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 on the day, batting .255, OPS of .714, 7 homers and 38 RBIs. Is what in the world's going on? The umpire and the bat boy sprinting behind home plate. Now they're going back to their respective positions. Ultimate, how's it going? Hello there. As Michaelis kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 1. Michaelis at 78 pitches. So you have to imagine this will probably be his last inning, unless it's a quick one. 1-0 count. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball. That is in there for a called strike. You need one team to score 4 runs for your prediction. We'll see. Here is the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Horwitz was trying to bring in the entire clubhouse with that swing. He just Loaded up and tried. 1-2 count. Michaelis rocks and fires. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball 2. Yeah, it looked like the Pirates, could have a really nice day. Of course, Michaelis had been struggling as of late, and the first inning was pretty solid, but nothing really doing since. As here is the 2-2. Breaking ball, that is called. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Horwitz lets him know about it, but that one was indeed in there. So both the lefty batters having a problem with that outside corner. That was clearly in the zone. That'll bring up Tommy Pham. He homered in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 today, batting .266, OPS of .732, 8 homers, and 41 RBIs. As Michaelis delivers. That is in there for a called strike. Covering Boise versus USF. Okay, well, good luck. Good luck with that. Here is the 0-1. That is in there, but it's not called a strike, so it's 1-1. Reds are off today. Marlins win against the Mets. The Reds will pick up a game in the wild card. Okay. Count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. One and 2 count. Michaelis begins the windup and the pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Pham hates the call. Immediately turns as soon as he heard the call there. Because he was staying at the plate. As soon as he heard him speak, he was like, no way. It did indeed catch the zone, as that'll bring up Brian Reynolds. He is 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch. So batting .245, OPS of .716, 14 homers and 66 RBIs. Michaelis kicks and deals. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Sean loves Christopher's explanation. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit to left, and that's going to be a foul ball. Yeah, Chris always update. Yeah, I appreciate Christopher because he comes in and will keep me updated on what is happening. It's nice and clutch, especially if, if it was during the half inning where, the full inning is where I usually go over the scores. 0-2 counts. Michaelis fires. That is upstairs for ball 1. One and 2. It's Michaelis delivers. That is in the dirt. Ball 2. Two and 2 counts. Michaelis kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to the left, and that is going to be a foul ball. Speaks for great. Yeah, no, I have a pretty happy with the community so far. It's been pretty cool. It's been a great one. It's a great community we have here. 2 and 2 count. Here is the pitch. Way inside for ball 3. Michaelis at 92 pitches. Again, I just don't see him coming out for the 6th. It's Michaelis. Kicks and fires. Grounder to first. Oh, what a dive by Contreras. Throwing to Michaelis, covering the bag for out number 3. Oh, man. Pirates, nothing doing. We head to the bottom of the 5th where the score is still 1-1. Brian related to legendary. Oh, yeah, he is for sure. You know it. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Again, I do a lot of Pittsburgh games, but of course I do bounce around, as evidenced by the last few days. I was out in San Francisco covering the Cubs and the Giants. Of course, not actually there, You got to put the immersion in there. But anyway, yeah, no, definitely subscribe. If you're a sports fan, tune in. Sports better. You might as well subscribe. I'll be here. The question is, will you? Let's just say your main guy, your main play-by-play guys, hey, he's out for the day. I might be covering that game. You never know. Of course, a lot of baseball, a lot of football on the channel. He has a mustache just like Bert. I don't know if the mustache is what determines if you're related or not. Just my guess. Just my guess. 2 up for the Cardinals will be Sajazi, Walker, and Pozo. They are combined 1 for 3. Again, not really much happening today as far as offense. You can see the Pirates with 4 hits, the Cardinals with 3. So it's really been a pitcher's duel. So I'll move this back. I don't know why I moved that. And, of course, if you're a college football fan, I'll be back on tonight. Got a game going at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. You know, again, I know it's not the most, not teams that would be close to where Pittsburgh and Missouri are, but it'll be Wisconsin and Miami of Ohio. We're doing that tonight. So stop on by. Here is the pitch. That is low for ball 1. Giants go for the sweep. Yeah, no, they were looking really good. Count is 1-0 to Thomas Sajazi. Here is the pitch. Chopper off his foot, so that is going to be a foul ball. But perhaps the stash is partially the father-grandfather's influence. I guess. I might. I don't know. I just don't see it. Count is 1-1. Here's the pitch. That is right down the middle for a called strike. 96 on the radar gun. Count is 1-2. Ashcraft rocks and fires. That's going to be poked to right, and that is going to be a foul ball. Giants will sweep the Cubs. I mean, I think so. They can. The Giants have been playing really well. Here is the 1-2. That is outside for ball 2. YouTube TV. Yeah, no, I heard about that this morning or yesterday. I can't remember. Count is 2-0 to Sajazi as Ashcraft kicks and fires. Grounder to second. Gonzalez has it, throws to first for out number 1. 1 away for the Cardinals. That'll bring up Jordan Walker. Walker is 0 for 1. He's batting .230, OPS of .601, 4 homers and 32 RBIs. As Ashcraft delivers. Walker hits this to left. Pham at the warning track trying to shield the sun and makes the catch for out number 2. Really struggled against the sun. Of course, that's not exactly an easy thing to do. So that'll bring out Yohel Pozo. Pozo's batting .245, OPS of .674, 5 homers and 19 RBIs. You covering any games tomorrow? No. I cannot do Fridays for the next 11 weeks. 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 10, 11. We'll see what happens as I'll be doing the local high school. I'll be covering. I do play-by-play for the local high school here. $50 a game. Living life. Here is the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. But yeah, tonight, yes, I will be doing Miami of Ohio and Wisconsin. Count is 0-1. Here's the pitch. That's a ground ball, and that is going foul. Unfortunately, even if the Giants win 2/3 of the remaining games, they'll probably still miss the playoffs. Yeah, they just really self-destructed. Pretty much once May ended, it was over for the Giants. They couldn't hit anymore. They couldn't. Their pitching was still good. It just wasn't as great as it was. Here is the 0-2 to Pozo. Checked his swing. He did not go. 97 way upstairs. Ball 1. 1-2 count. Ashcraft doesn't like that one. likes this one, as here is the 1-2. Chopper to short. Peguero coming on. Throws to first for out number 3. Nothing doing for the Cardinals. We got a pitcher's duel in St. Louis, folks, as we head to the top of the 6th. It is 1-1. Pirates, Cardinals. 67 days till. Yes, well, I won't be doing any college basketball until football is over. But yes, I will be ready for that. Do you have a color commentator? I have a color commentator. Dude, he is so good. I am so thankful for him. He actually, if you look back, we did a draft live stream. This was again back when I was just starting this out in April. He was here, but again, he makes it so much easier. And, you know, if you're by yourself, you have to pretty much be the color guy as well. Me, I just, you know, for me, when I'm a color guy, I can go anywhere, and I just, you know, I don't know if that's really good. He keeps it fun. He also goes everywhere, but we just have a good connection. I've known him for a long time, so I appreciate it. $50 just enough for. Yeah, well, I mean, it's right in town. I live like 3 miles from the stadium. Now, the away games, though, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Hammer, dude. Oh, my gosh, Hammer. You're the GOAT. Hammer is the GOAT, bro. I thank you so much, Hammer. That is so awesome. So I appreciate that. Once again, it is a commercial break here. Again, thank you again, the members and the donors. Of course, I'll add another gifted. Hammer is just very generous. That's awesome of you, man. I'm very grateful for you. I really appreciate that. Of course, Coffee Beans is the commercial break sponsor for this end of the inning here, the scoreboard sponsor. So the Rockies and the Astros, they are tied at 3 apiece. Diamondbacks and Brewers. Diamondbacks lead 6-4, and the Red Sox have defeated the Orioles 3-2. So look at that. As Nick Gonzalez will be at the plate. If you like mustaches, you probably like Nick Gonzalez's. Batting .276, OPS of .703, 5 homers and 20 RBIs. As Kyle Lee is on the mound. Let me go ahead and show you guys his stats before I start this one up here. Kyle Lee, the new pitcher for the Cardinals, 3-1 record, 3.12 ERA, whip of a 1.20, but in his last 7 appearances, 5.79 ERA, whip of a 1.82. As again, Gonzalez is at the plate. Once again, thank you, Hammer, so much, dude. That is awesome. I really do appreciate you, man. Here is the pitch. Breaking ball, that is way inside for ball 1. 4th day of college today, but I left a few minutes ago. Okay, well, that's cool. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right, and that'll be a foul ball. That's cool. At least you don't have to do that alone. Yeah. Especially the high school here, you know. Yeah, they've been pretty bad the last few years. Here's the 1-0 swing and a miss. The count is 1-1. When I was in school, they were pretty solid. When I was in junior high, they actually went to state back-to-back years and lost both of them, but they were really good. But yeah, last year we went 4-6, and it was just not good. Here's the 1-1, chopper foul. Non-district, we were 3-1, and then our first district game, we lost 40-0. And we didn't really come close to any of the other ones till the end of the year. So it was bad. It was not fun. Here's the 1-2. That'll be hit to right. Walker is coming on in and makes the catch for out number 1. 1 away for the Pirates. That'll bring up O'Neal Cruz. Again, Hammer needs 2 bases from Cruz. So a double would take care of it. It's batting .202, OPS of .690, 18 homers and 52 RBIs. Lee delivers way upstairs for ball 1. Madison County Cowboys. Not familiar. Of course, there are a lot of high schools in the United States of America. Here's the 1-0. That is in there for a called strike. 1-1. 1-1 count, Lee from the stretch. That is outside for ball 2. Hammer says he's a bum. He's going to strike out again. Yeah, probably, sadly. Hopefully not. I mean, I'd love for him to actually reach his potential. Here's the 2-1. That is upstairs ball 3. Hey, a walk will give you 1. So you just need another walk whenever he comes up. Count is 3-1. Lee sets, rocks, and fires. That is outside for ball 4. Look at that. A walk. So there's a 1. That'll bring up Joey Bart. Bart is 0 for 2. He's batting .243, OPS of .661, 2 homers, and 21 RBIs. College is massive. Yeah. O'Neal Cruz, the guy with 2 last names. Lee sets, rocks, and fires. That is inside for ball 1. Walks don't count. Really? I thought they did. What the heck? Well, that's dumb. That is really dumb. 1-0 count to Bart. Lee kicks and deals. That's going to be fouled back as Cruz was on the run there. 1-1. Walk is as good of a hit. Apparently not for Hammer. That's tough. Apparently not for Hammer. Oh, and 1-1 count here to Joey Bart. It's a 1-1 game here in the top of the 6th. We got a pitcher stool. If you like pitching, today was the day for you. Both these guys have been doing really well. Of course, Michaelis is done. This is Lee. As here's the 1-1. That's a tapper right back to the pitcher. Looks over at second. Can't do anything. Tosses to first for round number 2. All right, 2 away for the Pirates. Runner on second. That'll bring up Captain Jack Sawinski. Sawinski is batting .133, OPS of .530, 3 homers, and 8 RBIs. Went to a high school originally built by the Musselman Apple people. We were the Musselman Applemen. Yes, our mascot was a giant apple. That sounds so cool. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. That is neat. An apple. 0-1 count. Lee sets. Looks back at second. And Lee's going to step off. No sportsman. I thought a walk counted there. But thank you for stopping on by, man. Appreciate it. I really do. Thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. Again, make sure everyone hit that like button. It really helps out the little channels a lot. It really does. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt. Ball gets away, and Cruz is going to jog on to third. So now the Pirates just 90 feet away from taking the lead. Is Ashcraft done pitching? I don't think so, Justin. I think he is still. And of course we're in the top of the 6th, so I won't really confirm. I can't really confirm until the bottom half of the inning. But thank you for stopping on by, Justin. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. And Greg Brown hated that one. You can just hear it in his voice. He was like, oh, a breaking ball in the dirt. Greg Brown does not like it when Cruz and Sawinski specifically swing and miss at a ball in the dirt. He hates it. You will hear it. Count is 1-2. Lee sets, kicks, and deals. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 2. 24 likes, 1 more for 25. Yes, thank you guys. Again, appreciate it. Appreciate it so much. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on third, top of the 6th, 1-1 game. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Sawinski throwing the bat and helmet down as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Your score is 1-1. Dang it. Oh, well. Oh, well. It's the Pirates. Passed ball, Doug. Yes, happened a little bit earlier. You might not be caught up, though. Might not be caught up. It happens. But yeah, again, appreciate There's 25. Sorry, I always forget to hit the like. Hammer, come on, man. Jeez, what the heck? What the heck, man? I'm just kidding. Once again, folks, I do appreciate you guys for stopping on by. Again, just clicking on the video, the live stream helps out a lot, this little channel. But, of course, make sure to hit the like button. I think that's the first time I've said that today. I'm just kidding, Hammer. I've said that like 6 times now. It's okay. It's okay. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan. This is a sports channel, so if you're a sports fan tuned in, or, a sports bettor, again, I might be covering a game you have, money on. You might need to know some information, or, as there's apparently something happening behind me with the ambulance or police. What the heck? I live next to the highway. But, yeah, no, definitely subscribe if you're a sports fan. This is what I do. Been doing it since opening day, a little bit prior, actually, with college basketball. But, of course, no plans on stopping anytime soon. So, again, subscribe to the channel if you call yourself a sports fan. If you don't, well, then, okay, I understand. Just don't call yourself a sports fan if you're not subscribed to Dr. Delay. Due up for the Cardinals is Nootbaar, Herrera, and Burleson. I guess I'm getting a little sassy. Jack Swing and a Miskey. Oh, my gosh. No, you can't do that to him. Oh, that is tough. Looks like Ashcraft will be up for the 6th inning there, Justin. So if you need some more strikeouts or something, or you're just a Pirates fan that loves Ashcraft, which, hey, he's had a really good start to his career. So I don't blame you. Here is the pitch. That is low for ball 1. Nootbaar is 1 for 2 on the day. He's batting .234, OPS of .706, 13 homers, and 44 RBIs. Ashcraft kicks and deals. That'll be outside for ball 2. Ashcraft, by the way, had 65 pitches. So, again, they usually don't let him go close to 100. I mean, I don't know. We're getting later in the year, so they might. Here's the 2-0. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Oh, what a stop by Gonzalez. Throws to first. Did he get him? No, he did not. Oh, what a play by Gonzalez. What a pick by Horowitz. But Nootbaar able to beat it out. That was close. That was a heck of a play. That was great range by Gonzalez. Again, speedy Gonzalez. He's fast. He is fast. That was a great dive, great stop from his knee. And again, Horowitz, and shout out him with that pick. That is going to be close. And it looks like the Pirates are going to challenge it. They're going to challenge it. I don't know. This is so close. They're slowing it down. I'll try to describe it as best as I can. Foot is... I think, that is neck in neck. I think the ball hits the glove as soon as the foot touches the bag. Usually the tie goes to the runner, so I'm going to say that's gonna stand. Hate to say it, but I need over 3.5 hits given up. This guy. This guy. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, it's looking like you might be getting it. Again, we'll see. I don't want to mislead you here. It's close. The call in the field was a single, and I think it's going to be one of those things, in the NFL where it's so close they go with the call in the field. I think that's what they're going to do here. But, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they overturned it. It was a great play, of course, by Gonzalez, and this is so close. Slowing it frame by frame. Jeez, I mean, that's literally as close as you can get it. All right, here's the call. After review, the call on the field stands. You got it, Justin. You got it. Hopefully that's it, though. Hopefully there's no more negative Pirates bets here. But, of course, I appreciate you stopping on by, Justin. Thank you very much. But, yes, the Cardinals will have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. This is Ivan Herrera at the plate. Ashcraft sets, kicks, and deals. Showing bunt, gets it down. That is foul. Herrera is batting .283, OPS of .787, 10 homers, and 48 RBIs. Very interesting that they're going to have a guy with a high batting average, with a high on-base percentage, with a decent, solid OPS, .787. Bunt. That's very interesting. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. There it is. That's, though, in the dirt. Strike 2. course, man, I'm a Cubs fan, but I want the Pirates to win. Okay, I got you. 0-2 count. Ashcraft. Sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit to right, and that is just foul. Aye. And the Pirates are actually warming up somebody in the bullpen, so this might be nearing the end for Ashcraft. Yeah, they normally don't let him go this, well, maybe not this long, but, as far as 100 pitches, they don't really let him approach that number. As Ashcraft will have to step off because Herrera has asked for time. Was Contreras suspended? I mean, he's playing today. So if he was, well, it's over. Or it hasn't been enforced yet. 0-2 count. Ashcraft kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to center. Cruz is under it and makes the catch for out number 1. All right, that'll bring up Alec Burleson. He's batting .287, OPS of .791, 16 homers, and 60 RBIs. Ashcraft looks over at first. He's appealing. Okay. Here is the pitch. That is outside for ball 1. Honestly, he's probably going to get at least one game. There's no way. I mean, literally, yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, here's the 1-0. That's going to be hit to left, and that's going to be foul ball. Again, he got into the umpire's face and then was walking away and threw his bat towards the umpire. Then he hit one of his coaches, which I'm sure the coach would be like, oh, no, it's fine. But, I mean, it definitely puts someone in danger. And, yeah. And then, of course, the gum on the field, but obviously that's not going to be a big deal. 1-1 count. Ashcraft kicks and deals. Grounder up the middle. Peguero has it, throws Gonzalez. There's one, and not in time as Burleson's able to beat it out. But there is 2 outs now as they were able to get the leading runner. And that will bring up Wilson Contreras. He's batting .256, OPS of .788, 19 homers, and 73 RBIs. We'll be surprised if he isn't. Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I'm surprised. I was surprised that he would do that. I mean, he's up now, of course. We do have a pitching change, by the way. So Ashcraft today, he's done. He is, of course, responsible for the runner on. Well, I mean, I don't think it'll. Well, I don't know how that would work. It's field. He's out. I mean, it's fielder's choice, but anyway, whatever. But yeah, we'll have a new pitcher. Contreras is 33 years old. It's kind of shocking. Playing baseball. I mean, I get the out. Personally, like I've been, when it comes to soccer, I would get, intense. I would argue with the referee. Not like that, of course, but I can get where he's coming from. Obviously, he gets paid a lot more and stuff like that. But throwing a bat, I don't think that's not good. You can't do that. You can't throw the bat at another human being. That is like literally. That's not good. You can't do that. It's sad that there's more of that these days than there were in the steroid era. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. I have no problem with getting in the face of people and all that stuff, but throwing a bat, I mean, that's to me, that's just, you can't do that. The Myles Garrett, obviously hitting a helmet on Mason Rudolph, that was also like, can't do that. That's literally trying to kill somebody. And a helmet is pretty bad. That's just me, though. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I understand. I will think differently than most folks. Soccer's more emotional, all that running and constant movement. Baseball's a lot of standing and looking. That's fair. I mean, I don't know. I'll still. I mean, I still understand the heated moments, though. But yeah, again, I don't know about throwing a bat. That is a little bit too much. So the new pitcher for the Pirates, as we are returning to action here, is going to be Yohan Ramirez. Ramirez is 1-1, 5.56 ERA, WHIP of a 1.41. Last 7 appearances, 0-1, 6.17 ERA whip of a 1.54 as he will face Contreras. Again, there's 2 outs with a runner on first. Ramirez kicks and deals. That is, oh, and he plugs him. So Contreras gets plunked. Maybe we're sending all the bad juju over there. I don't know, but geez, So runners on first and second. Jeez, just immediately just plunks him. That'll bring up Nolan Gorman, batting .223, OPS of .739. Pardon me, 13 homers and 42 RBIs. You view soccer like hockey, just without the blades? Fair. As Ramirez looks back at second. Looks back again. Kicks and deals. Checked his swing. That is in there for a called strike. Rogers threw it. Yeah, no, I remember that. Chris agrees. No weapons, no spitting. Roberto Alomar, my favorite player, Toby spit on up. Yep. Spitting is also like, yeah, that's not cool. 0-1 count. Ramirez looks back at second. Looks back again. Rocks and fires. Way outside. Oh my gosh. Bart, honestly, moving the most I've seen him this year. Jeez. 1-1 count. Ramirez is clearly wild. So if you're a Cardinals fan, you are just licking your chops right now because Ramirez, yeah. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That is upstairs, ball 2. Again, these are pretty bad misses. The strike call was, by the way, on the inside corner, but it was like, a 50-50 call. So 2-1 count. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Ramirez looks back at Burleson. Looks back again. Rocks and fires. That is inside for ball 3. Here we go. Yeah. Licking opponents on the cheek. Ugh. I don't know much about hockey. I never heard of that, but that is kind of weird. That is gross. 3-1 count. Ramirez looks back, rocks, and fires. And he hits this to center. Cruz running back at the warning track. Under it. Makes the catch for outs number 3. Oh, my goodness. I feel like we just dodged a bullet there as we head to the top of the 7th. And your score is still 1-1. That was, hopefully, Ramirez, that's it for him. Oh, jeez. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning on in. It really does help this little channel out. Make sure to hit the like button. Hit that like button. And, of course, subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Lay. Again, this is a sports channel, so do what you must as far as subscribing. It is free. It is free. Do that, though. Again, if you're a sports fan, definitely subscribe. A lot of Pittsburgh, of course, but we do bounce around. Again, last night, 2 nights ago as well, I was doing the Cubs and Giants. And, of course, we'll be covering a lot of the NL postseason and the World Series as well. And, of course, a shout-out to all the donors, members. I appreciate you guys so much. It really is awesome. And, just, again, thank you very much for your support. Of course, Coffee Beans is our scoreboard sponsor. So we'll go over the scoreboard across Major League Baseball. As the Red Sox, they did defeat the Orioles 3-2 earlier today. Currently happening, the Rockies and the Astros are tied at 3 apiece in the top of the 7th. The Diamondbacks, they currently hold a 6-4 lead over the Brewers, and the Giants, looking like their offense is still pretty good. They're up 2-1 in the top of the 2nd. It's already 2 runs in the first for the Giants. 2 up for the Pirates will be Peguero, Kiner-Falefa, and Horwitz. Yeah, spitting was just, that was never cool. That was never, that's just disrespectful and gross. And, yeah. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Peguero, he's 1 for 1 with the walk. Batting .206, OPS of .677, 4 homers and 7 RBIs. As Ashcraft, his night again, his day ends 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned. So pretty solid as we're returning to action where it's a 1-0 count. Didn't even get to see that pitch, so I apologize. 1-0 count to Peguero. As Lee sets. kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 2. That is something that Pittsburgh Sportsnet will do a lot. They'll come to the game when the game is already underway. So kind of a bummer there. 2-0 count to Piguero. Lee rocks and fires. That is in there for a called strike. That last inning had disaster written all. It really did. We got lucky. We dodged. Yeah, we were good. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be low for ball 3. So 3-1 counts to Piguero. He's gone on both times today. Looking to keep that going. 3-1. Lee kicks and deals. That is in there for a called strike. Piguero about to toss his bat, but not happening there. That was in there at the knees. Count is 3-2 to Piguero. Lee sets, rocks and fires. Called strike 3. Frozen on the inside corner. He struck him out. That'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Free. It is free, yeah. Subscribe to the channel. It is free as can be. As, again, Kiner-Falefa at the plate batting .269, OPS of .644, 1 homer and 35 RBIs. Lee kicks and deals. That is right down the middle for a called strike. Kiner-Falefa is 0 for 1 and has a sacrifice bunt in this one. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit to right, but that is a foul ball. Cubs 2, Giants 2. Cubs tying it up in the second inning. Count is 0-2. Lee sets, rocks and fires. That's going to be in the dirt. 1-2. Again, if you like offense, well, I apologize. That's just not happening today. That is just not happening. Got a pitcher's duel in this one. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he is tagged out as that one was in the dirt for out number 2. And that'll bring up Spencer Horwitz. Horwitz is batting .254, OPS of .711, 7 homers and 38 RBIs. This game is like watching paint dry. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's been some nice moments. That's going to be in the dirt ball 1. It's not your like typical 1-1 game. There's been some nice plays, but it's been few and far in between. But I'm just enjoying it while we have it. Here's the 1-0. That is right down the middle for a called strike. Because there's only a month left of Pirates baseball. Of course, there's going to be another month of playoff baseball, but it'll be gone, and then we'll be missing it until March, as that's going to be way upstairs. So it's 2-1. And I don't really care for spring training at all. I don't really care for NFL preseason. 2-1 count. Lee kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2. 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the 7th. 1-1 is your score here in St. Louis. Lee sets. Kicks and deals. That is in the dirt ball 3. Of course, the Pirates, they've already won the season series 7-5. So I would say we probably did a little bit better than we expected there as Pirates fans. 3-2 count, and Horwitz will step off. Again, the Cardinals weren't really projected to do well this year, but I'm sure, again, that, they're a very proud franchise, very, classic. They're definitely a cornerstone. So this is a little bit shocking, as that's going to be low for ball 4. So I don't know if the disconnect between ownership and all that, they need to get it together. So I don't know what's going on. So Horwitz walks, and that'll bring up Tommy Pham. He had a home run in the first inning. I really thought this game was going to be one of those high-scoring games. That was my mistake, guys. I really thought it would be happening today in St. Louis, but not happening right now. As Pham is batting .265, OPS of .730, 8 homers and 41 RBIs. As Lee is going to have a little chat with the infield and the pitching coach, so a little bit of a delay here. Once again, appreciate you guys for tuning on in, and make sure to like it up, hit that like button, and subscribe for more play-by-play. It's free. It is free, and I'll go ahead and end the poll here. 72% of you guys thought the Pirates would win. 28 saying the Cardinals. And, of course, as it stands, it can go either way. So, again, there's a mound visit, and looks like it's about to be concluding here as Pham is stepping back into the box. 1 for 3 on the day. Again, had that solo shot in the first inning. Lee sets, kicks and deals. Chopper, and that's going foul. Count is 0-1. Pham apparently 4 home runs in the month of August. Prior to that, only had 4 as well. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit back, and that is going foul. 0-2. Runner on first. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. 1-1. Lee shaking off a bunch of pitches. Found one he's liked. Sets. Rocks and fires. Checked his swing. Did he go? He did not. Breaking a ball in the dirt. Pham was able to hold up in time. One and 2. Lee comes to a set. Rocks and fires. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. He struck him out. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's still 1-1 here in St. Louis. Will this game ever end? Will someone score? I honestly couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But once again, folks, appreciate you guys for tuning on in. Again, appreciate it a lot. It really does help out the little channel that I have here. Of course, we're growing, and again, it's all thanks to you guys. So again, thank you very much for that. Make sure to hit the like button. That is number 1. Pardon me. That like button is very clutch for small channels like me. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan, sports bet, or whatever. Again, this is what I do. I've been doing it since opening day. And, of course, it predates it a little bit if you were to check out the lives. But, yeah, no, we're here to stay, and we are going to be doing this for as long as this is possible. So we're going to definitely do this for the rest of this year. And, of course, next year. Excited for next year. Even though it's the Pirates, I'm still excited, you know. There's always that, hey, you know what, we might be able to pop off next year. I don't know. We're on extras watch. Yeah, we are on extras watch here. It's no one wants to score. No one wants to get a hit. Only 4 hits apiece for each team. Hopefully Ramirez isn't out there because it was not looking good there. But, oh well. Yep. Yeah, when games are like this, hey, it is what it is. I mean, there's been some exciting moments. It's just been a while. But paint dry, yeah, I would actually agree with you now. I kind of felt it there in the top of the 7th. I'm sure you guys did as well. So, looks like we are about to return to action. Where, again, it's 1-1 in St. Louis. Mason Wynn coming to the plate. He's batting .255, OPS of .681, 9 homers, and 47 RBIs. I don't know what is happening now. There we go. Wynn is in the box. Ramirez is still out there. He comes to a set, kicks, and deals. That is outside for ball 1. 1-0 count. Feel bad for the Cardinals fans that are out there in the sun. Brutal. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That is outside ball 2. Go to a game. So they're showing people yawning. Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. Cardinals have a big geographic area that follows them, so the always high expectations there. Again, just a classic organization. Here's the 2-0. That's going to be hit to right, and that's going to be a foul ball. So 2-1, the Mason win. Again, it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. As again, watching paint dry may be the correct way to describe it. Count is 2-1. Ramirez comes to a set. Kicks and deals. That is outside for ball 3. Again, Ramirez is just struggling to find the zone. Got lucky really last inning. I don't know what Ramirez was doing there. 3-1 count. Ramirez, I'll explain later. Here's the pitch. That is low for ball 4. Ramirez on that 2-1, whenever that became 3-1, he was walking off like it was strike 3. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what the heck was going on there. Then we got Thomas Sajazi. He's batting .250, OPS of .612, 1 homer and 15 RBIs. Feels like the Pirates are throwing the game with him still on the mound. I don't really disagree. As Bart is having a little chat with Ramirez, looks like that chat will end. As again, there's a runner on first with nobody out. Again, Thomas Sajazi at the plate, who is 1 for 2 on the day. It's a 2-hour game. It's felt a little bit longer, though. Ramirez looks over at first, rocks and fires. The bunt is down, but it is foul. In fact, it actually went backwards. Count is 0-1. Ramirez looks over at first. Comes to a set. Looks over again and fires. That's going to be hit to right center. Cruz running back. That's going to be off the wall. Cruz has it. And they are calling him home. Gonzalez is going to throw home. He is not in time, as Wynn might have the win there, as the Cardinals lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th with still nobody out. Unbelievable. That'll bring up Jordan Walker's batting .229, OPS of .599, 4 homers and 32 RBIs. And Andre, your last statement couldn't be any more true. I mean, we could all see it there at the end of the 6th inning, that he was clearly wild. As here is the pitch. That is going to be hit to left center. Cruz is jogging back. That one is out of here. It's gone. The Cardinals, all of a sudden, with 3 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Jordan Walker, just his 5th home run of the year. But it puts the Cardinals on top 4-1. Emma hates it. Andre says, I told you. And I completely agree. This is ridiculous. I mean, everyone here, if you heard me, if you're watching the game or were listening to me just call it, you were saying, well, Ramirez is a little bit wild here. Kind of escaped there in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, wow, he allowed 3 runs here in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out. Shocker. Here's the pitch. That is outside, ball 1. Oh, man. Pozo's batting .243, OPS of .670, 5 homers and 19 RBIs. 1-0 count. Ramirez kicks and deals. That is a ground ball up the middle. Peguero has it, throws to first for out number 1. Yeah, that's just dumb. Like, come on. You should be able to see that the pitcher's not having his stuff today. Andre was right. Yep. Through the game, leaving him. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. So Kelly's going to go and take him out now after he got him out. So, okay, Ramirez, you finally do something decent. But, it's time to get you out of here. You've already done the damage. So a pitching change, probably a few batters too early. They'll be right back. I will be right here. Through the game, leaving the pitcher in. Yep. That is game, ladies and gents. Horrible management. I completely agree. I don't know what the heck Kelly was doing. I don't know what in the world. You should have been able to clearly see that he was not having good stuff at the end of the 6th inning. He got lucky. We escaped. And then, ooh, wow, he allows 3 runs. I guess we're supposed to be surprised. New pitcher for the Pirates is going to be Dari Moreta. 1-0, 3.86 ERA, whip of a .86. It'll be his first appearance since the Cincinnati game, August 10th. And the Cardinals lead 4-1. How are the Giants doing? Well, you can kind of cheat here. That's fine. Giants and Cubs are tied at 2 apiece. They are tied at 2. I like the Cardinals just like the Pirates more. I would have wooted that home run if it was against... Oh, okay. If that was against the Rays. You don't like the Rays. Interesting. Yep, that's just a bummer, folks. That is probably the ball game. That is probably the ball game. So anyway, yeah. All right. Anyway, we're back to St. Louis, where again the Cardinals lead 4-1. Again, we have a pitching change. Moreta is going to be in the game. Dari Moreta as he faces Nootbaar. He's batting .236, OPS of 710, 13 homers, and 44 RBIs. So I don't know what's going on, but Moreta is just chilling on the mound, waiting. There we go. We're back in it as Moreta sets. Looks back at second despite no one being there. Here's the pitch. That is upstairs for ball 1. I don't know why. I guess some pitchers do that. They look back despite no one being there. 1-0 count. Moreta looks back, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit, and that's going to be foul. 1-1 to Nootbaar. Again, the Cardinals now leading 4-1. Thanks to Kelly and the Pirates. Looks like Riley O'Brien is warming up in the Cardinals bullpen. 1-1 count. Moreta kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to left center, and that's going to get down for a base hit and probably another one, as Nootbaar is in at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That will bring up Ivan Herrera. He's 1 for 3. He's batting .285, OPS of 784, 10 homers, and 48 RBIs. Again, runner on second with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Moreta looks back at the runner at second. That's going to be upstairs for ball 1. Though you could probably assume he would look back at second despite, even if he weren't there. If he were at first, he'd probably look back. If he were at third, he'd probably look back at second. 1-0 count. Moreta sets. Looks back twice, kicks, and deals. That is in there for a called strike. This bullpen is horrible. Yep. It's pretty bad. It's very inconsistent. There will be nights where it looks so good, and then there's nights where, yeah. Here you go. 1-1 count. Rocks and fires. That is in there for a called strike. One and 2 is the count to Herrera. It's Moreta. Sets. Kicks and deals. That is upstairs. 96 on the fastball, but nowhere close. 2 and 2. Two and 2 counts. Moreta kicks and fires. That's going to be hit to left Pham is getting called off by Cruz, making the catch in left field for out number 2. That was interesting. Cruz like, you know what, I got it. I know I'm the one that had to run all the distance, but I'm going to make the catch. That'll bring up Alec Burleson. Burleson's batting .287, OPS of .790, 16 homers and 60 RBIs. 2 outs, runner on second. Moretta looks back, sets, kicks, and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1. Burleson's 0 for 2 with the walk in this one. Moretta sets, rocks, and fires. That is upstairs for ball 1. Moretta comes to a set. Looks back. Looks back again. Kicks and deals. That is way outside for ball 2. You can probably feel it. You know, the game is just slowing down. Despite the runs being scored, again, it's just a slower paced game. Not really much happening. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 84 on the changeup. Had him way out in front. 2-2. Cubs manager Craig Counsell was ejected. Oh, my goodness. How? Wow. What did he do? 2-2. Moretta delivers. That's going to be poked back and fouled back. As it's, once again, 2-2. Interesting. Wonder if things are going well. I haven't really seen, I know it was 2-2 just a few moments ago. Wonder what's happening. Once again, 2-2 counts. Moretta comes to a set. Looks back at second. Kicks and deals. That's going to be a foul tip. Strike 3. He struck him out. But the Cardinals again with 3 runs. Of course, Walker with the home run as they now lead 4-1 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. All right, once again, folks, I appreciate you guys for tuning on in. I know it's been one of the most exciting games you've ever heard, but yeah, no, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. Of course, leave a like, hit that like button, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And of course, a special thank you to those that have donated and have become members. I do appreciate you guys a lot, and it is really awesome. And of course, the scoreboard sponsor is Coffee Beans. Coffee Beans, thank you very much for sponsoring our check around the league. As again, the Red Sox, they defeated the Orioles 3-2 earlier today. The Astros now lead against the Rockies 4-3. The Diamondbacks still up on the Brewers 6-4. And the Cubs and the Giants, it is 2-2 as they head to the top of the 4th. Still 2-2 Cubs and yeah. Counsell may be annoyed from the previous games in the series. Remember, Verlander was getting some calls. He was, I was there for that one. Verlander getting some calls in that one, though I don't think that was the difference, but definitely a little frustrating, I'm sure. As the new pitcher for the Cardinals is Riley O'Brien. O'Brien is 2-0 on the year, 1.73 ERA, whip of a 1.16. As far as the last 7 games, 1-0, ERA of a 1.08, whip of a 0.96. He actually allowed a run in the first game of the series. We were there as well. 1 2/3 allowed a hit and an earned run. So that is the pitcher for the Cardinals. As Reynolds will be due up. He's 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. Pardon me. Irritated they got pounded. Yeah, no, the Giants were all over him. You're a Braves fan just going through the struggles. Yeah, the Braves just unfortunate. They're kind of like the Cardinals, just another organization that's usually just top-notch, always in it, but this year it's just not been kind to those two organizations, as that's going to be in there for a called strike. He's batting .245, OPS of .716, 14 homers, and 66 RBIs. O'Brien sets and fires. That is in there for a called strike. How do you gift a membership? Well, I think you have to become one yourself, but you don't have to worry about all that if you don't want to. Again, I think there's a thing called join, and again, the lower tier is 99 cents. Again, I made that, because I understand the world we live in. Money is not exactly, there's not plenty of it for the common folk. As here is the 0-2, that's going to be in the dirt for ball one. But I do appreciate it. I do. 1-2 count again. Reynolds looking for his first hit of the day. Draven needs one more run, as he had one of these teams going for more than 4 runs. Here's the 1-2. That is inside for ball 2. 2-2. Again, the Cardinals, the 3-run bottom of the 7th. And that may just do it in this one. Here is the 2-2. That's going to be popped up and hit to left. Nootbaar is on the run and makes the catch for out number 1. All right, that'll bring up Nick Gonzalez. He is 1 for 3. He's batting .275, OPS of .700, 5 homers, and 20 RBIs. Do I have emojis? Yeah, but they're not really much. I'm only, since I'm just starting out, I'm only allowed 4. Like, yeah, there's one right there. It's usually just Pittsburgh stuff, as that's going to be outside for ball 1. So, yeah, like if you're just starting out, like the more members I get, the more emojis I can add. I still don't even know what I'm going to be adding. But here's the 1-0. That's going to be hit back, and that's going foul. It'll probably be like sports stuff. Like, that's really, yeah. I don't know. I kind of have to figure out something. But, yeah, it's like the Pitt logo. I might be able to click on it. 1-1 counts. Here is the pitch. That's going to be popped up. Wynn is under it and makes the catch for out number 2. And that will bring up O'Neal Cruz. And I know Hammer, he needs at least a double from Cruz. Let me see if I can. No. 1, 2. Again, they're not the nicest. They're not the best. These were the only things I could find. I know that's not the actual Pirates logo and all that stuff, but okay, I don't know if yeah, they're still there. Here's the pitch. That's going to be, oh, that hits him in the foot. Oh, my goodness. So, well, sorry, Hammer. Jeez. Just a breaking ball that catches him in the heel. He actually jumped into it. The breaking ball was actually behind him, and then he moves his foot backwards. That's interesting. Bart is at the plate batting .242, OPS of .657, 2 homers and 21 RBIs. As O'Brien sets, kicks, and deals. That is upstairs, ball 1. Cruz trying to steal second. He is safe. Have I seen Harry and the Hendersons? I have not. I have no idea. No idea what that is. So Cruz is able to steal second. Again, apologies to Hammer. I don't know if you're still here, but doesn't look like you're hitting that one. Barring a amazing comeback and pushing it to extras. 1-0 count. Bart at the plate again. He's 0 for 3. Runner on second, 2 outs. O'Brien looking back, kicks and deals. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. I don't know why it's not. 1-1. Cruz, that was his 35th stolen base of the year. He is 3rd in all of baseball. It's about Bigfoot. Oh, okay, interesting. One and 1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right, and that is going to be a foul ball. If you can get the smiling pirate logo, that would be nice. Or that would be good. The smiling one. Oh, like the 80s one. Yeah, the 80s and 90s. Yeah. 1-2 count. O'Brien comes to a set. Kicks and deals. That's going to be a chopper to first. Tosses to O'Brien, covering the bag for out number 3. All right. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals with a nice lead here. 4-1 over the Pirates. Doctor, do I believe in Bigfoot, Sasquatch? I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think so, but, when I'm watching those, YouTube stuff late at night, it's pretty convincing. It's late at night specifically. I'm like, oh my gosh, that stuff is real. But during the day, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I have no idea. That's a good question, but I don't know. I think it's possible. I don't know. I mean, I need to see some, everyone has some high quality footage now. So, I mean, come on, let's get him on camera if he's real. Let's see here. We're not looking at that right now. Once again, folks, I appreciate you guys for tuning on in, and of course, sticking with me. Make sure, of course, to hit the like button. That definitely helps out the channel. That like button looks like that. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you're a sports fan. If you're a sports fan, you should definitely be subscribed to this channel. A lot of play-by-play for baseball and, of course, football. And if you need a third sport, I'll be doing college basketball once football season has concluded. And, of course, I did promise Draven here one hockey game. It'll feature the Penguins. And I think it's supposed to be either the Red Wings or the Maple Leafs. I just don't know which one. I can't remember. We're in Texas, Doctor. If they live in here, they may run out of state. Yeah, probably. Doctor, you believe in the Loch Ness? No. No, I do not. Colin Holderman's going to be the new pitcher for the Pirates. He is 0 for 1, 8.24 ERA, whip of a .93. Actually, his last 2 outings he hasn't allowed an earned run. So there we go. Things are looking up, maybe. We'll see. All right, you have a good one, Draven. Thank you, man, for hanging out today. I know the Pirates aren't going to get the win, most likely, but again, I appreciate you as always for hanging out. Definitely appreciate you, man. All right, Holderman on the mound. Looks like he got a haircut, maybe a new you type of thing. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Contreras is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch. He's batting .256, OPS of 789, 19 homers and 73 RBIs. Holderman kicks and deals. Checked his swing. That is low for ball 1. Even the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, again, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out. If it's Texas, they would have a long way to run. Texas is pretty big. But the wooded area is kind of where I live. I mean, we're kind of close to the border of Louisiana. That's going to be chopped foul. 1 and 2. Because the panhandle, that's all flat. West Texas is like a desert. South Texas is kind of like, I don't know how to, I mean, it's kind of like the valley. I don't know how to describe that, but it's kind of dry, but also not dry. I don't know. I'm terrible at describing things. 1 and 2 count. Holderman sets, kicks, and deals. That's going to be hit to left. Pham is racing over it, covering his eyes, and makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Nolan Gorman. He's 0 for 3 on the day. He'll be back from Miami of Ohio. Okay, awesome. See you then, man. Appreciate it. Miami of Ohio and Wisconsin tonight. We'll see how that goes. Gorman batting .222, OPS of 737, 13 homers and 42 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 count to Gorman as Holderman sets and fires. That is outside as it's 1-1. Holderman comes to a set, kicks and deals. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Gorman didn't like the call, but that one was definitely in there. Gorman's going to ask for time as he shakes his head. Again, it's 4-1 Cardinals with the lead. A 3-run seventh inning is pretty much going to be the difference in this one, barring an epic comeback in the ninth. 1-2, Holderman sets, kicks and deals. That's going to be hit to the left, and that is a foul ball. One ball, two strikes. Nobody on, one out. Holderman sets, rocks and fires. That is outside for ball two. Again, the Cardinals, if they really wanted a shot, I really felt like they needed to win 3 of these against the Pirates. Best they'll probably do is 2. That's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Will be 66 and 69. You know, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just very unlikely. Of course, again, the Mets sweeping the Phillies didn't help. So that'll bring up Mason Wynn again, batting .255, OPS of .682, 9 homers and 47 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That is low for ball 1. The key was to get to Michaelis, and they failed. They did. They really did. I mean, I thought, again, the first inning, you know, his ERA for the year is like in the 5s. And the Pirates, you know, Pham had a home run. They had 2 runners on, got out. You know, they couldn't push any more across. But was looking really promising as here's the 1-0. That is outside for ball 2. But then they just, for some reason, couldn't do anything. As, again, Wynn is 0 for 2 with the walk. I do apologize for not mentioning that. So 2-0, 2 outs, nobody on. Holderman sets, kicks and deals, and that is in there for a called strike. 97 on the outside corner. But hey, I'm sure the Pirates will take, you know, splitting with the Cardinals on the road. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be poked and hit this to third. Kiner Falefa is under it and makes the catch for out number 3. All right, so we head to the top of the 9th where the Pirates need 3 more runs to keep this one going. It's 4-1 St. Louis over Pittsburgh. All right, possibly for the final time. Once again, folks, thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, helping out this little channel. Make sure, of course, to leave a like before you go. And, of course, subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play with Dr. Delay. Again, if you're a sports fan tuning in or a sports bettor, in case you know I'm covering a game you need information on, definitely subscribe. Been here since opening day and a little bit prior to that, actually, and have no plans of going anywhere anytime soon because we've got something special growing right here. You can be a part of it in its early days. So I do, again, appreciate you guys for even clicking on the live stream. And, yeah, again, if you're a sports fan, subscribe to the channel. This is what we do here. And again, I'll be doing the postseason as well. So postseason baseball right here on Play-by-Play with Dr. Delay. Of course, again, thank you very much to the donations I've received. It's really awesome. It's really cool to know that people will just give you money like, hey, you're doing a good job. Here you go. Like that's really cool. And of course, Coffee Beans in the middle of the screen is this scoreboard sponsor. So I do appreciate her for sponsoring this segment as we go over what's happening across Major League Baseball. Again, the Red Sox defeated the Orioles 3-2. The Astros have just defeated the Rockies 4-3. Currently happening, the Diamondbacks, they lead the Brewers 6-4 as they head to the top of the 9th. And the Cubs and the Giants are tied at 2 apiece as they head to the bottom of the 5th. The closer for the Cardinals will be Jojo Romero. 4-5 record, 2.30 ERA. Whip of a 1.30. Last 7 appearances, 0-2 record, 3.68 ERA. Whip of a 1.77. So that whip is really high. The ERA, though, is fine. As we will have a pinch hitter, as it's a lefty on the mound, so Sawinski will head to the bench. That'll bring up Jared Triolo, who's swung the bat pretty well recently. He's batting .220, OPS of .665, 5 homers and 18 RBIs. Last chance for the Pirates. Yep, Christopher, last chance indeed. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a called strike. 0-1, 93 on the outside corner. Triolo again, you can see in his last 30 games, OPS of 800, 806. Last 7, OPS of 1363 as he hits this to left, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Look at him go. Triolo all of a sudden is learning how to hit. As again, I've complained about him before. I like him, but you know, you're known for being a contact hitter in the minors, but you can't hit in the majors. Now all of a sudden he's actually living up to that reputation. So a runner on first with nobody out. That'll bring up Liover Peguero, who was 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. That is outside for ball 1. He's batting .203, OPS of .667, 4 homers and 7 RBIs. Here's the 1-0, and that'll be in there for a called strike on the outside corner. 92 on the radar gun. He also walked earlier. My bad. 1-2 with a walk. Count is 1-1. Romero sets. Rocks and fires. That is in the dirt, ball 2. Laying off it there is Peguero. Two and 1. Romero sets, kicks, and deals. Grounder to second. This is huge. There's 1 and 2. A double play. He chased it out of the zone. Way up here, got on top of it. It was an easy double play for the Cardinals, and now that'll bring up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. The last chance for the Pirates. He's batting .269, OPS of .643, 1 homer and 35 RBIs. He's 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. Romero sets, kicks, and deals. That is in there for a called strike. Pirates were going for win number 60 today. Looks like they'll have to wait for another day. 0-1. Here's the pitch. That is low for ball 1. Last out, yeah. One and 1. Romero kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 1-2 count. The Pirates down to their last strike as the Cardinals fans that are in attendance rise to their feet as they stand and clap. Cameras and phones are out. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt for ball 2. Greg Brown actually going over what had happened in the first inning, and the Pirates looked so good, and then they couldn't push across those runs, and for some reason that was it. Pirates really did nothing after that. 2-2 counts. Romero squats, sets, kicks, and deals. Ground ball, foul. This game was winnable. This is on the manager. I agree. I don't know what Kelly was doing. He should have seen what we all saw in the 6th inning with Ramirez. As here is the 2-2. IKF hits this to center, and oh, what a play by Sajazi, making the running catch. As that is your ball game. That is a 4-1 victory for the Cardinals, as they will move up to 66 and 69. The Pirates fall to 59 and 76. Of course, you know, as a Pirates fan, I'm pretty, I guess, happy that they split the series. You know, that's pretty nice. Of course, good luck to the Cardinals fans. Any Cardinals fans that tuned in, good luck to you guys the rest of the season. I might see you guys again. I don't want to promise anything, but you never know. Maybe you're playing a team that is pushing for the playoffs. You know, the Cubs, Brewers. I don't really know the schedule going forward, but yeah, of course, again, good luck as you guys, again, try to stay in the wild card race. Again, appreciate you guys for even clicking on the live stream. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. Make sure to hit the like button. That like button is clutch for small channels like me. And, of course, subscribe to the channel for more play-by-play. And, of course, if you want more play-by-play, I can actually send you over to somebody else. But tonight I'll be doing the college football game between the Miami of Ohio Redhawks as they take on the Wisconsin Badgers in their first games of the year. Again, 7:55 Central Time. I want to make that clear to everyone. I'm in the Central Time Zone. 8:55 Eastern for most of you guys here today. So, again, appreciate you guys so much for clicking on this. Jesus, the Lord and King. Yes, sir. Cardinals play the Reds next. Okay, hey, we'll see. Well, this weekend I can't do anything, Cardinals. Can't do that. But maybe during the week, that's when we have that possibility. Again, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to be trying to load it up and see if I can send you guys elsewhere. Again, I've received a lot of support, so I want to definitely help out those that have helped me. So I'll be sending you guys elsewhere for now. Of course, you can just say, if you do stay or don't stay for long, just say, hey, doctor sent me or something. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and send you guys to the Diamond Zone with play-by-play with JJ. He's great. Again, he's a very huge supporter of the channel. I do appreciate him. Just tell him, hey, doctor sent you. And, of course, you can always subscribe to his channel as well. But I'll see you guys tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday. If I don't see you again, y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.